So welcome to Morocco. This is an update on the Autovox camera install. Now I installed one of these cameras over 6 months ago now, and it's been absolutely great until recently. It could be to do with the bumpy roads I've been on, I don't know. But when I put it in reverse, the screen hasn't been lighting up in the front. Now the first time I jiggling the wires around and it came back on, which shows me it's a loose connection. There's nothing wrong with the camera, it's just the Scotch locks they provide you with aren't working anymore, and that's a common problem with Scotch locks. They often don't work. So what I'm going to do is I've taken the reverse lamp off here, and I'm going to get Steffi to just record me and show you what's happening and what I'm going to do to alter this and make it work again. So I've removed the first Scotch lock. There are these little blue connectors here, and you put one wire in, it links it to the other wire, and it just shares the connection. But what happens is they get old and they stop working. Right, so as you can see here, it locks into the wire, but it's a little bit of a messy connection. So I am gonna take this back and I'm gonna make a neater connection. So I'm gonna expose the wire there. We're gonna solder that. I'm gonna solder that into my live wire here, and then I'm gonna close that connection up with some tape. As you can see, it's the red wire on the Autovox camera going into the green and brown wire on the reverse light. So let's just get this off here. Don't do it too hard, otherwise you will cut the copper inside, but I just want to expose the copper wire there. I'm just going to solder up the live connection, and hopefully that will fix my issue and we'll be good to go. So I'm going to hook that around there. I'm going to solder, I think it's called tinning. I'm going to solder that, the first one here. The soldering iron's hot enough now, it's melting my solder. So I'm going to go in here to the green and the green and the brown wire, and I'm just going to heat that up and get some solder on this joint here. It's probably going to melt a little bit of the plastic, but that's fine, it's just the covering. And we're going to protect that after we're done. Right. Right, so that's tinned and primed that wire there. So then what I can do is I can take my live here. Now that's not a particularly amazing solder job, it's hard to get to the wires in here, but let's have a look. I'm just going to want to solder back there as well. There you go, so that is that wire soldered, and then I'm going to protect that joint so that it doesn't arc onto anything, onto an earth. See if that's fixed it. Yes, it has. So we've got a loose one. I think while I'm here, I'm just going to go back and solder the earth as well. There's no point messing around and letting it do it again. So we'll quickly get that done, and then we are finished. So thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. It's really cheap to buy a soldering iron online, and even in your local DIY store they'll have a soldering iron. So it's really cheap, it's a really useful skill to have, and just check out how to solder on YouTube. You'll find loads of videos, but it's really quite simple. Take some scrap wires that you found from around your house, cut them up and start practicing with that, and you'll get the hang of it in no time at all. So give that a go, teach yourself a new skill. It's really easy, it's really handy. A review of the camera. Now I've had the camera installed over 6 months now. It's been really good. It's been a huge game changer for a van this size for sure. It's quite entertaining. Sometimes you'll be driving down the motorway or pick up another signal from a camera that somebody's got installed. It happened to me once of a horse box, and I could just see the horses in the back eating some hay. But don't worry, when you're parked it will override. Well, it always has for me. It's always overridden and gone onto my reverse camera when I put it into reverse. So that's the only downside, I would say, if you're trying to choose between a wired camera and a wireless camera. For me, in a van this size, wireless made sense, and it would make sense as well if you're installing one into a trailer or something like that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will say to you, please, if you're going to buy one of these cameras, check out the links below. I'm going to put in a wired camera for you, and I'm also going to put a wireless one, and all that does is you'll buy it off Amazon like you usually would. It will just give me a very, very small commission if you decide to buy it, and if you do, thank you very much. It helps me buy things like this so I can do little tutorials and hopefully help you out. Anyway, if you found the video useful, please give it a thumbs up, comment if you've got any questions. I always get back to people when I can. Take care and have a good day.